Hey everybody, Mark Agnesi here in the back room of Norman's Rare Guitars. Welcome back. It's Thursday. Oh, it's another brand new episode. Guitar of the day. Thank you for coming back again.
Woo!
Even though it's Thursday.
Sad.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We try our best, you know. Speaking of trying our best, the casino from yesterday is gone.
Bye-bye.
Sayonara. Also, the Dove from last Friday, gone. The EB2D and Natural from last Thursday, gone. And the 335 from last Wednesday, also gone. And then the Hummingbird from that Flat Top Friday. Pretty much almost everything we've done from the show so far that's under a buttload of money is already sold. A couple things still left, but they're in the buttload and up range. Metric buttload of money? I don't know. Oh man, Dodgers down 0-2. Well, we're gonna hit them tomorrow night. We're at home finally. I see some of you are already bored of the sports talk. What if I told you that I had a bass today for Thumpin' Thursday that I was actually excited about?
What?
Yeah, I wouldn't believe me either. What if I told you I had a bass today that's kind of cool okay. I got a bass, guys. That's all I can promise you is I have a bass today. It's Thumpin' Thursday. It is kind of rad. You'll like it. This is from 1975. This is an original Gibson Les Paul Triumph bass. Original white finish. 2 low impedance humbucking pickups.
I love this one.
Oh man.
Look at the color.
Oh yes, that's like your favorite shade of buttery goodness right there.
Look at those buttons though. What is that?
Is that enough bells and whistles for you, Chad?
Who's Chad? I'm serious.
600 and some episodes in, we're still doing stuff we've never seen before. This is actually the first one of these we've had, I think, in the whole time I've worked here. We have a lot to talk about. This is... Where do we start? Let's start with Les Paul and his love of all things low impedance. All right? Because the one thing that I said that most of you went, say that again? Low impedance humbucking pickups. That's these guys right here. Now, there was a variety of guitars in the late 60s that Les started to do featuring these pickups. This was obviously the companion bass. Well, actually not this. The Les Paul bass was the companion bass. And that's going to run from 1969 to 1971. Was only available in the walnut poopy brown finish, as most of these were. And featured one small difference from this bass. In 1972, the bass got renamed the Triumph bass, which is what we're looking at here, and they changed a few things. Most importantly, what they changed down here, this one switch that says output, low, and high. Yeah, that's what changed. The original Les Paul recording bass only was available to be used with low impedance. Gibson actually made a cable specific for the bass that had a transformer at the other end to boost the signal back up to when you come out the other side, whether it's going into a console or whatever. What is what is high impedance and what is low impedance? Normal guitar cord, quarter-inch cable, carries high impedance frequency, which is a very large wavelength that over time starts to get worse and worse, let's say. I'm trying to put this in layman's terms. You know why people make such a big deal about true bypass pedals, right? Because when you have high impedance signal, the more stuff you go into, the more your signal starts getting messed with. So people like true bypass stuff to let that signal go through. Well, if you have low impedance signal, that's like what microphones use, low impedance. Well, now all of a sudden you can send signal down a very, very long piece of cable without losing any of the sound, because when you have big frequencies like this, the longer you send it, that's why guitar cables are always 18.6 feet, because that's rated how long you can go before you start to lose high impedance signal. So Les kind of developed this way. The original Les Paul recording bass was only available as a low impedance model. So if you got to the gig and you forgot your cable, screwed, homie. So when they renamed it the Triumph bass. We added this. So now I can also run the bass in high impedance mode and just stick a regular 1/4 inch cable in there like you're using anyway and get full output. Now let's talk about the other switching that we have going on here. This is a master volume for the bass. Then we have kind of your high tone frequency and then your bass tone frequency. Of course, we have the switch here for the low impedance or high impedance output. Then of course we have the in phase or out of phase switch, which will only kind of work in the middle here when you got both pickups going together. F and R, front pickup, rear pickup. That's all that is. Don't let that freak you out. Then we have this little tone section here. This is actually a replace switch here. 2 is normal. 2 is what you got going on. Then you have like kind of a high shift and then you have like a super bass. 2 is going to be running it normal. Yeah, check out those high impedance pickups with the Gibson logo in there. Kind of cool. White did not become available until 1975, which is this year. All of these basses got discontinued by 79. I think it's in the very low, just over 100 of these were made in white. Almost everything else, poopy brown, people.
Ew.
Now, there's also short scale bass, 30.5 inches, 30.5 inch scale on these. Well, the other thing that changed when they went to the Triumph from the Les Paul bass is they added kind of the custom, Les Paul custom headstock here. They also added the block inlay with the binding and things like that. Basically, Les wanted it to be a companion to sit on a stand with the Les Paul custom, basically. The Les Paul Triumph bass. Guys, I don't have the cable. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to run it in high impedance. And nobody wants to hear me play as many songs as it would take to go through all this stuff. But we'll go through it. We'll see what this thing can do. Let's go out to the couch. It's Thumping Thursday. This is my psyched face. Let's go do it.
Wait, how many songs are you doing?
3.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're out front. We have the 1975 Gibson Les Paul Triumph bass. Original white finish. 2 of those low impedance Gibson humbucking pickups. We're going through a Fender Rumble 200 today because we care about bass tones here. Let's see, we're going to start up on the neck low impedance pickup. Remember, we are running this in high impedance setting with just a regular cable, just so we're all clear. Okay? That's in the normal position, number 2. Kick it over here. We get that high pass thing over to the 1. Super bass for all intents and purposes. We're just gonna leave it on number 2, right there in the middle, all right? Normal. Neck pickup all by itself. Now we're going to go into the middle. We got both of the pickups going here. Position 3. Position 2. Position 1. And of course we also have in and out of phase. We got... Oh man. For all intents and purposes, we're keeping them in phase. Both pickups together. In the middle. Let me grab a pick here. lastly, bridge pickup, or rear pickup as they're calling it, all by itself. We've got position 3, the normal position, position 1. I like it in the normal, guys, in phase. Let's see what we got going on in the bridge pickup. How much fun can one have with a bass? Answer, I'm not sure. But there's a lot of fun to be had with this one, if you're into that sort of thing. This thing's from 1975. Original Gibson Les Paul Triumph bass. Original white finish, which has just gone the most perfect shade of butter. Mm-hmm. Sick. Like just over 100 of these made in white. Everything else is poopy brown. You know what side of the spectrum I'm on. 2 of the low impedance humbucking pickups, in and out of phase. High or low impedance. All sorts of fun you can have with this original hard shell case. There's your Thumpin' Thursday. Can we think of something else that rhymes with Thursday? Hey, follow the story at Norman's Rare Guitars. Check this and the rest of these guitars out online at normansrareguitars.com. And we'll see you guys back here tomorrow for an all-new episode of Guitar of the Day. It's Flat Top Friday. 6 strings. It's going to be great. See you then. Peace.
Bye.